warm, a very warm welcome to what I'm sure is going to be another very special auction here today, number 12 to 14 Creekward Drive, here in the beating heart of Armstrong Creek. On behalf of Martha Angelopoulos and the good team at Coronis Melbourne, we thank you all for your attendance. For the interested parties, we wish you the very best of luck in your bidding and buying here today. Remember, guys, we want exactly what you want, which is for you to own this home. We are simply here to assist. Also, for purchasers here who may very well be standing here today or virtually, we thank you, we congratulate you in advance on your magnificent purchase, and what a magnificent purchase it will be for many, many, many years to come. Also, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our vendors for not only entrusting myself to be their auctioneer here today, but entrusting Martha and the good team at Coronis Melbourne to sell what is arguably their most prized possession. Now, surely when the property is sold, a 10% deposit shall be required upon signing the contracts if you are the successful purchasers here today, unless any other arrangements have been made prior to the start of today's auction, with the balance of the purchase money is to be paid at settlement, which has been scheduled for a somewhat simple and very, very flexible 30, 60 or 90 days. Now, boys, you'll be also pleased to know that Coronis Melbourne assure owner buy security through the list of today's auction rules. And today's auction will be conducted in accordance with the rules and any additional conditions that are made available for your inspection prior to the start of today's auction. The auction rules prohibit myself, the auctioneer, from accepting bids or offers on the property after the property has been knocked down a successful bidder. Now, the vendors do have a reserve price, and as the auctioneer, I'll indicate bidders on your request. The law prohibits false bids, prohibits major disruptions by bidders, and prohibits bidders attempting to prevent others from bidding, and does provide fines for such conduct. Now, the rules do permit vendor bids, and the words I'll use during the auction to simply indicate I'll be making a bid on behalf of the vendor are quite simply vendor bid, and by law only I, as your auctioneer here today, can make that vendor bid. Now, buyers, in the unlikely event we're to reach the vendor's sensible reserve price, and ladies and gentlemen, let me truly stress to you all, very, very sensible reserve price, and should the property get passed in here today, the highest bidder will have first and exclusive right to treat for the purchase of this home at the vendor's said sensible reserve. So if you do have interest in this property today, do make yourself known, do bid boldly, bid aggressively, and most importantly, bid to your most upper echelon of your capacity, as I'd hate for you to miss out on this golden opportunity that presents itself here today, and what an opportunity it truly is. Underpinned on approximately 419 square metres of A-grade Armstrong Creek soil, boasting 4 bedrooms, multiple living zones, setting amongst a generous size floor plan with a spacious design and low maintenance living. It's no wonder why we have interest here today for the perfect growing family or savvy investor. I will say we do have tenants here in place at the moment, currently on a month-by-month basis contract at $450 a week, but the good team at Coronis Real Estate have advised me that the potential rental return now in this buoyant property market sees value somewhere in that region of $480 to $500 per week if you were to get new tenants down the track or in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, and there's no wonder why it is such a buoyant postcode for savvy investors, because if you're local, I'm sure you've experienced what the postcode has to offer and you love it, you know it well. If you're new to the area, you're in for an absolute treat, because buyers, the backbone behind every single real estate transaction is its location. And what better location do we have in Armstrong Creek than Creekward Drive? Ladies and gentlemen, we're a hop, skip and a jump from everything Armstrong Creek has to offer. We're talking schools, shops, parklands, of course, obviously the the Village Warralilly Shopping Centre as well, and not to mention public transport right at your fingertips. With all this and the outlook to Ambrosia Reserve, what more could one simply ask for? Ladies and gentlemen, lots of talk and great discussion. You've heard from me, it's time to hear from you. We're submitting the property to public auction. Who'd like to commence submitting for number 12 to 14 Creekward Drive here in the heart of Armstrong Creek? And start me off wherever you like. Always a big build-up for sudden silence, whether it's people in the crowd or streaming virtually. What do we say, buyers? We welcome you in at absolutely any level you like. Obviously, the good team at Coronis Monash have advertised the guide price at that $650,000 to $690,000. We're not looking for your best price, we're looking for your first price. Who would like to tip their toe in the water and get the ball rolling and start us off from here? What do we say? Can we even suggest somewhere an opening bid somewhere around that $630,000 mark and move it along from there? We will place a vendor bid, and I prefer not to. I prefer to hear it from the public, from the crowd. What do we say? We need to know. Well, off and our way, ladies and gentlemen, we'll kick things off with a vendor bid. The bid's with me now with a vendor bid at $630,000. Look for 10 on 20 on the rise if you will. At 630, double the bid now. What do we say? Bargain buying at this level, challenger to buy better. At $630,000, what do we say now for 640? At 630, double the bid now with me. What do we say? First, second, third, final time. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me explain to you what happens from here. $630,000 vendor bid with me on the vendor bid at $630,000. If we do formally pass the property in, it opens up to the public market. And then, obviously, we have an auction after an auction with some competitive interest post-auction. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do want that first and exclusive right to treat for the vendors, very, very sensible reserve price, as I mentioned earlier. You need to put your hand up, participate, get that first and exclusive right, and we'll move it along from there. Because at $630,000 a vendor bid with me, what do we say? We'll formally pass the property in. Call it down 3 times and 3 times only now. First, second, third, final time at $630,000. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we will formally pass the property in with a vendor bid at $630,000. Thank you all for your attendance here today. If you do have any questions or any interest in the property, do come speak to Martha and the good team at Coronis Melbourne. Thank you and have a fantastic weekend.